So, who is your inspiration? Is your inspiration Mother Teresa? Maybe your inspiration is a superhero. Or maybe it's a family member or a loved one. My inspiration is a psychoanalyst by the name of Erikson. Erikson had a great passion for psychology that was based on some childhood events that he went through. And I also have a great passion for psychology that was based on some similar childhood events. I've always believed that we're a product of our life experiences, and Erikson's theory of psychosocial development kind of elaborates on that a little bit. It coincides with the beliefs that I hold, and it goes on to explain a little bit further why that is. So, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Erikson's background. We'll talk a little bit about his theory of psychosocial development, and we'll discuss how all of this pertains to you. So the first thing I want to talk about is Erikson's background. Erikson was not your typical psychologist that graduated high school, went to college several years, got a doctorate, and lived happily ever after. Erikson came from a broken family. He never met his biological father. Until he was older, he did not know that the person he called his father was in fact his stepfather. He found out later in life that it was rumored to be that he was a product of an extramarital affair. All of these things created questions within him. All of these things sparked a drive to find out where he fit into society and who he was. Another thing that he went through was, as a child, he went to a Jewish temple school where he was made fun of because he looked different than everybody else. He had a more Nordic appearance rather than what the rest of the students there looked like. And then when he moved on from that school and went to grammar school, he was made fun of because of his Jewish background. And so these are just examples of how certain things in our life carry over and can affect other aspects of our life and leave us not knowing where we belong, where we fit into society. So, a person with questions wants answers, right? So Erikson set out to find those answers, and in doing so, he took Freud's theory of psychosexual development, and he expanded on that. There are some key differences. Freud's theory basically says that our development ends in early adulthood. Well, Erikson believes that we continue to develop from birth until death, meaning that everything that we deal with in life continues to affect us and shape us throughout our entire lives. His theory is explained in 8 stages, and I wanted to kind of show you. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how his theory works. So basically, each stage is essentially associated to a specific age range, and each stage also coincides with what is called a psychosocial crisis. And basically what that is at certain ages, we are faced with certain aspects of life that lead us, the outcomes of these parts of our lives lead us to how we perceive life and society in general after that. So, for example, the first stage is the trust versus mistrust stage, and that occurs during infancy, basically from 0 to 1.5 years old. An infant initially trusts that their caregivers are going to do the things for them that they need done because they're not capable of caring for themselves. And so when the caregivers fail to do that, that child is left with a sense of mistrust. And this trust versus mistrust is associated with the basic virtue of hope. when a child successfully completes this crisis, so to speak, with a sense of trust, then the child has a hope and they're able to move forward in life and have a sense of trust for society around them. So, anyways, as I explained before, this goes on and continues throughout adulthood, with the final stage being ego integrity versus despair. And that is said to occur from during the mature years of our life, 65 and older. So at this point, you're probably wondering what any of this has to do with you. So let's talk about that. Life is full of choices and decisions. Every day, we're faced with a new choice, a new decision. And the choices and decisions that we make shape who we are. Our choices and decisions also shape who our children are and who our children become in life. How they handle social adversity, how they handle challenges that are brought before them in life. And, how we are raised, how we were raised has a great deal to do with how we handle these things. And so you can see how it's a continuous cycle, how the things that we dealt with as children affect how we deal with things today, and the things that we deal with today will affect how our children deal with things in their adult lives. And so basically, we never run out of confrontations. So we have to be conscious that every decision we make during confrontation is somehow shaping those around us, whether it be ourselves, our children, or other close individuals. So as we finish up, I'll leave you with a thought. Erikson was a great influence to people who have a dream but don't think that they can succeed. They don't know how to go about it. Erikson, his dream was sparked by life events. He used his life as his driving force to pursue the answers that he sought. And if he can do it, why can't we, right? So the more we try to understand ourselves, the more we try to make sense of who we are, the better prepared we are to have some control over shaping ourselves and shaping our futures and shaping our children's futures. So maybe when you leave here, just take a little bit to reflect. Think about why you are the way you are, how you became the person you became, and how you are helping to shape your children and other